Jetliners are basically flying homes. It's a sealed pressure canister. It's incredibly strong. It will last practically forever. I'm Bruce Campbell, and you're inside the cockpit area of my 727 home. I can appreciate that some folks might feel a bit isolated or that it might simply strike them as an unusual living environment. But for me, it's always felt completely natural. My entry is via the aft air stairs, which are retractable and are retracted whenever I leave for an extended time. The aft area of the aircraft now is my living space. My very primitive shower is located there. The two natural aft lavatories are both functional. Sleeping quarters are there in the form of a simple futon sofa and a bench where I spend lots of time embellishing elements of the aircraft. Jetliners retire at the rate of about 3 per day. For the most part, I think we shred them. And then we spin around 180 degrees and make a home after having just shredded an aerospace class home-size structure. If you were an extraterrestrial looking down on this behavior, you'd wonder whether this species has all its marbles in place or not. People have asked me whether it crashed here and I simply restored the wreck. That's an odd thing to hear. It's completely impractical. Next time you're in a jetliner, close your eyes for a moment. In your mind, remove all the seats and all the other people, and then open your eyes with that vision and consider the expanse of the living room. It's a good environment, it really is.
What do you say to people who just say, this is not a normal way of living?
Thank you very much.
I'm Catherine, and this is my husband, Wayne.
I'm Wayne, and welcome to Freedom Cove. We live in a secluded cove. The only options we have to get here is by water. There are no road accesses. The water is our highway.
Everything that you see here in our home is floating. We are tied to shore with lines. We are not anchored. We have our main living house. We have the dance floor, the lighthouse building, 4 greenhouses. As I started to grow the garden and make it larger, then we had to have more space for that garden.
Everything's done with a handsaw and hammer. No power tools. I know every board and nail by name. It's about 500 tons, 1 million pounds that I'm floating. I've been building tree forts since I was 7.
Yeah.
And I said, well, Dad, I'm putting a tree fort in the ocean.
Do you ever get seasick?
No, when I go to town, I get land sick.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about living in Clackwood Sound on the west coast of Vancouver Island, it's the richest biomass on Earth. So the opportunity to fish for dinner is big. And I just can get in my canoe and paddle out in 10 minutes, I can catch a fish. But when it's windy and too rough out there, I can just lay on the couch and fish out of the house. I was hoping to make a lot more money as an artist. So subsistence living was our only opportunity to have anything as artists. We could never buy real estate, so we had to make our own. It was a great opportunity to actually move away from the city to see if we could prosper out here. Now, 24 years later, we're still doing it.
I can't imagine living any other way. I feel completely fulfilled.
Oh, that's good, huh? That's really nice. I'm working on it.
For somebody driving into town the first time, you wouldn't think there was a lot here because 95% of it is hiding underground. People drive in and go, where is the place? I don't understand. Kuber Peddi is from the Aboriginal Kuber Peddi, which means white man in a hole. At the moment upstairs it is about 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Down here we're sitting on about 71, 72 degrees. No air conditioning necessary. We're right out in the middle of nowhere. It takes a day to drive here from Adelaide. I'd say there's about 1,000 underground dwellings and at least 1,500 people living underground. We've got 5 underground churches, we've got underground motels. There's some amazing underground homes here. Many bedrooms, underground workshop, you name it underground, we've pretty well got it. I bought my dugout as a fairly small 2-bedroom dugout and I've been extending it over the years. Some of this I blasted out when I could get away with it. The cops don't like us blasting in town. We don't do it anymore. Back in the old days, if somebody was going to have a baby, we'd rock round there with a couple of compressors on a weekend and some jackhammers and a couple of cartons of beer, and by the Sunday night we dug out a room, cemented the floor and wired it up, and there's your new baby's room, honey. Even though we're so far away geographically from anywhere else, I don't know why, but we just love the place to bits.
This is my friend Laura, and she's 80 years old.
And this is my friend Tiffany, and she is 26.
And we live in a retirement community. I'm a part of the Artisan Residence program at Judson Manor, which is a residential program where young musicians get to live here rent-free in exchange for performing recitals and concerts. When I tell people I live in a retirement community, I get a lot of mixed reactions. Some people don't believe me. Other people think it's a wonderful idea.
I had not been a part of this community more than 2 days. I was in the lobby and they told me about Tiffany, and I walked over and introduced myself and I said, "Do you like dogs?" "Oh, she loves dogs." And Tiffany and I became friends. We just formed a friendship. We'll talk about art. We talk about clothes. I don't wear fashionable shoes anymore, but Tiffany does, and we talk about shoes.
Laura to me is like a grandma and also a friend and a confidant. I don't think the age difference is something that I am constantly thinking about or that I'm aware of. You don't think, oh, I'm having dinner with this 100-year-old and this 90-year-old. You know, I'm having dinner with my friend Laura and Sarah. In a way, it is almost like being in a college dorm with the fact that there are so many people here from different places, from different backgrounds. It might be a little bit quieter than a normal college dorm, but I think we still have just as much fun.
Home for me, first of all, is a peace of mind where you come home and you're always safe. That's what home means to me, especially for my children. Before I moved into this home 6 months ago, I was living in a shelter. To get my own home, it was just breathtaking, but there was nothing in it.
I'm Kristen Suey, and I'm a designer at Hummel Design. Everything in this warehouse you see is donated. We work with homeless and domestic abuse shelters, with families that are moving out of those shelters and into homes. And a lot of times they have nothing but the clothes on their back. That's where we step in and we provide the furniture for them, but then we also go back and decorate and provide like those little details that make your house a home and makes it your home. Without our help, about 46% of families coming out of the shelter go right back in. With our help, that statistics goes down to 1%.
I'm a direct care worker and I work with elder people. Before I lived in the shelter, the boyfriend that I was living with was emotionally and physically abusive to me. One day I woke up and I just said I wasn't taking that anymore.
Today we met with Danielle and we just talked with her a little bit, found out about her backstory. It sounds like she has come out of the shelter and now has been in a house with basically no furniture. She has a few pieces, but no beds, no chairs, no table. So we talked with her a little bit about what she wants in her home. We went to the home and we took measurements and just walked through each room.
What dinner looks at my house now, we all sit together, but we sit on the floor. The priorities was to have like silverware, bowls and spoons, things for us to eat out of, and bedding to put on the floor for us since we didn't have beds.
When I first started here, I didn't realize that people were living this way. When you walk into a home that is completely empty and families are living there and have lived there for months, it's shocking because you don't think of it. But on that Friday when we reveal a house, I just love the energy from our volunteers to the families that are getting these, new homes really. I can't get enough of that feeling and that's why I've stayed here for so long.
I know my kids are gonna be amazed because I haven't really told them what's going on. I just told them they was getting some beds, so they don't even know that the whole house is gonna be done. So I know they're gonna be astounded and happy. So it just makes me very happy. Oh, wow. Oh my God. It's like a magazine, ain't it? Mm-hmm. Went from zero to a miracle. I love y'all for this. I mean, this is amazing. It's just happiness to me to be able to walk into a home and have your friends and family there and you're able to just show them comfort and joy. That means a lot to me. And I hope that one day I can give back just what was given to me.